Quit acting stupid. With
Bobby,
Jamie,
Rudy,
and
Andy.
Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Quit Acting Stupid. I'm your host, Jamie Paredes, and joining me as always are my brothers, Rudy and Andrew.
We're missing somebody.
Did we trip you up
missing
there?
somebody, so we had to go get a fill-in. We had to, I guess upgrade.
Special guest.
Yeah.
Guest.
Yeah, kind of like
Guest
the
co-host?
Jimmy Kimmel when he goes on vacation.
We bring
he
in
has-
bring in somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
this is for one episode instead of a whole week's worth.
I don't know. I don't know if he's better than Bobby. Then maybe.
true.
Maybe
Bobby is en route back to Kansas City, so he couldn't make it tonight. But joining us, we have another family member, cousin, owner of Rudy's Tenampa y Taqueria on Westport Road. He's a sculptor. He's an artist. He's
not just Westport Road though. Oh, I guess yeah. I mean, there's two.
Well, we'll talk to him because there's also a location in Lenexa. So, but maybe Tone. Anyway, let's bring him on. We'll talk to him about it, guys. Welcome, Rudy Garcia.
Am I doing this? There we go.
I did it.
I
I wasn't
figured it
sure.
on.
Hey, Rudy, welcome to the show, bud. How you doing?
pretty good. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, Dos Rudies.
Yeah,
Those
that's right.
Rudies. Yeah,
It's gonna get
it's
confusing.
half Rudies. I know. So nobody can say just Rudy. I guess how else
Yeah.
would you say it? Say brother.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's clear that up
Bobby's
though.
missing. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead, Jamie.
I was just saying, Bobby's missing today, so pressure's on you, Rudy, to
me?
lift.
On Rudy.
No, not you. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be a nightmare.
Don't make it
Here,
worse.
No, I don't know if we can say why he's not here or what? Just he got
No.
very good-
No.
Okay, got very
No.
good news.
Let's leave it at that so that everyone is like, "Ooh, what is it?"
Yeah,
me and Rudy jumped on that. Like, no,
Nope. Okay.
They'll be like, let's tune in next week to find out what it is, and then we won't talk about it then either. But we'll get more people to watch. Rudy,
Go ahead.
we were just mentioning that you're the owner of Rudy's Tenampa on Westport Road.
Yeah.
Does your brother Tony own the one in Lenexa? Are you guys co-owners? How does that work?
What's your job title? I
Yeah,
guess.
myself and my wife, we own Rudy's in Westport, and my brother and his wife Brandy, they own Rudy's in Lenexa.
That makes sense. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Mhm. Tony was with my dad, for all these, almost 30 years, and stuff. And well, in 2018 is when they broke off and they went to open another one. The opportunity rose there, and there was a place opening there. That was selling. The guy was selling his that old Panzone's restaurant, and so they jumped on that right away and they got it. So they opened it up and they're doing really well there. Actually,
That's awesome. I don't remember the years, but I remember when you guys had a little spot here in Blue Springs, which was
Yeah.
awesome for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we were all Independence people at the time. You guys had a Rudy's in Blue Springs. That was fun, man.
Yeah.
You guys would have live music there. You had a lot of space there too.
Yeah, it was good. That was the time when I wasn't living here in Kansas City. I was out. I was either. I think we had just moved to St. Louis. I think, and I just heard stories about it and everything. I never did. I think I went to it. I came in one weekend and I went out to the right. It was nice. It had a nice little courtyard and everything, patio.
Yeah.
And everything is really, really nice. And then I went back to St. Louis, and then a few months later, or actually not, I shouldn't say a few months. I bet probably about 8 months later, they said, "No, we're going to hang it up out there. We can't make it go." So I was like, wow.
Yeah, and I lived in Blue Springs for the longest time, and that spot right there, and I never understood why, but that's like the coolest little building. It had a nice little patio area, but like it changed like it had been several different things, I think, at one point. So I don't know, nothing ever stuck there for whatever reason. I don't know if it's just because it was on the outer road or whatever, but
Yeah, that
It was a cool
that
place.
outer road's a weird location. There's just car dealerships and you know, it's not a lot.
People would say that it was hard to find. Is that they could see the big sign from the highway, but once you got off, I mean, it was anybody's guess which way to turn, to get there.
Yeah, because you would go right off of that 7 highway exit, but then the outer road wasn't right there. You had to go down a little bit and then make a right and curve around.
Exactly.
So I could, yeah. So Rudy's. The other day I saw you and I were talking, and I'm just going to put up a picture right here. This is a famous visitor that came to the restaurant here.
Oh yeah.
And for people on Spotify, it's a picture of Charles Amenahue, Kansas City Chief Charles Amenahue.
That knee's looking pretty good. So hopefully we'll be seeing him out on the field soon.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. And I was gonna. He was very, very nice guy, very nice gentleman, and I just quick little chit chat with him. I didn't want to ask him, hey, when do you when are you coming back? Nothing like that.
Right.
He just quick little,
I'm sure there's like a line there where you want to introduce yourself and make them feel welcome and want them to come back, but you also want them to be able to eat in peace and stuff like that. I know.
Yeah, when you have a celebrity come in, you don't make a big thing about it. You just treat them just a regular customer, because if not, you're going to have people going up to them. That's what you don't want. For them to have a bad experience and then they don't come back. That's the thing you don't want.
Well, I remember back in the day, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was going to say, when he was getting ready to leave, I thanked him again for coming in. I shook his hand and I asked him, I said, could we get a photograph? And he said, yeah, sure. So we took a photo of that photograph that you just showed here. We were actually looking out into the restaurant, and like everybody that was there. They just turned their head and were looking right at us, and after I got the photograph taken, some tables were calling me over there. Who was that? Who was that? And I had to tell them it was Charles Amenahue from the Chiefs. They're like, no way. I'm like, yep.
Yeah, that's probably better to do it on his way out.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I know back in the day, Travis Kelce used to come in a lot, and I know Antoinette would have a couple pictures with him. And does he still come around much anymore? Or
I have not seen him in there. I have not heard that he's been in either. The only one that's actually been in a few times is Nicole Hardman. He actually came by and took a photograph right there up there at the bar, actually, and stuff.
Yeah,
I was actually there when he came in the very first time, and he had a hoodie on. And he had the hoodie on the whole night, and he was with the girl, and they sat at the table, and I didn't make a big deal about it. I just said, I shook his hand. I said, nice to meet you, and stuff. And that was it, so
neat.
I got a question about that. One, do you ever ask how they found you, or if someone recommended them to you, or how they heard about your place? And then, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, a friend of mine, Jude Davila, his company that he has kind of handles like the athletes whenever they want to go out someplace. He'll like find them places to go, and then they'll call me ahead of time. Like just like with Charles Amenahue, he called me ahead of time and said, hey, I got Charles Amenahue wants to come down and eat. And I said, oh, okay, sure. So we saved him a booth kind of off to the side, and things, and so.
That was actually his job is to do that. Like that's his.
Yeah. That's how Nicole Hardman came in too, as well. Yeah.
That was going to be my next question. Is like, how do you know when someone comes in? Like, do you just kind of have to recognize them? I know sometimes you could tell an athlete from just any other person, but I mean, in those instances, because the restaurant's not even that big, I guess. I mean, you'd have to like know, like, oh, somebody's coming in. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in what that's like. Walk me through somebody's coming in. Yeah,
well, it's like when I was there, just like when Charles came in, he walked in, and I told the hostess that I would seat him, and so I just took him right to the booth where he had saved, and everything, and I just talked to him for a little bit and I said, thank you for coming in, and introduced myself, and everything, and he asked me what I would recommend, and I just talked to him about, our dishes that we have there, and things like that. Not once did I ask him for an autograph, nothing like that,
Yeah.
So, but
do you find that a lot of these guys are like first timers, just or like you have your regulars that you see quite a bit?
Actually, one of the regulars that was coming in for a little while who wasn't an athlete was Eric Stonestreet from Modern Family. Yeah, he's been in. Cool. He's been in. He actually called in for a reservation too, as well. And he's been in. Paul Rudd was in back. I think in the late '90s. I guess he had just kind of started getting famous a little bit. I think right after he did Cider House Rules, he came into the restaurant. Of course, I wasn't. I've never been in with Eric Stonestreet, or I never did see Paul Rudd or anything like that.
You guys could always put him there in that side room too to hide him from everybody. That's like a good.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, exactly. But
I will say, Andrew was asking how do you recognize him or whatever. I don't know if Jamie you were there with me, but I know I recognized. I was at the restaurant. It was late on a Saturday, maybe. Boy, I sure enough recognized Jordan Brett stumbling in. That boy was hammered. He was hammered, he stumbled in up there on that second level, up by where the fish tank used to be. Or is the fish tank still there?
Yeah, no, it's gone now.
Yeah, so he was talking to a group that was already there, but man, he was gone, and we were our whole table there. Is that what night? What were we doing? Because
I forgot. Yeah.
I don't know.
You know what? I think it was after our family pictures we took. We took family pictures. Or no. That was we went to the one.
We went to Lenexa after that. Yeah.
Never mind, forget it.
I don't know what we were there for, but yeah, I recognized him right away. So I've seen George Brett there, and he was inebriated to say the least. But that was a fun time.
I'm curious. What is the relationship between are you close with the other like Mexican restaurants in the city, or is there some kind of I'm not rivalry, but you know what I'm saying? Like how does that dynamic work?
Yeah. I've never, that would be a good question for my dad, because as long as my dad's made a lot of friends. I've just been there for a year, and I really haven't met a whole lot of other restaurateurs, I'm still kind of trying to shake off the whole art thing, and it's hard to get away from that, after you do it for 30 some odd years, it's hard to, when I get home from the restaurant, I want to do something creative, and stuff. And I just, I can't just sit around and watch TV. I mean, I do, if I'm really tired, I will, but I try to sneak something in there. I get on my Cintiq, and fire it up when I'm doing stuff, or doing something down the stairs, or building furniture outside in my garage, or whatever. But yeah, my dad, like I still got people coming in saying, "Hey, how's your dad?" I mean, there's so many, different people every week. I mean, they come in, and my dad has built relationships with, a lot of half of Kansas City for 30 years, so, but as far as like relationships go with them, I don't know. I've never had the opportunity really to meet anybody else, other than my cousin David, who owns Manny's, David Lopez. But we see him, on the holidays, at Christmas time, things like that. But the other ones, I don't know, unless we go to a restaurant, a Mexican restaurant. But really, to be honest with you, after being in the restaurant all week, I don't want to go out and eat Mexican food.
Right.
Someplace else.
Right.
So.
Well, you mentioned, just how are Uncle Rudy and Aunt Marge doing? How's the family?
They're doing good. They're doing very good. Yeah, they're enjoying retirement, and everything, and they're doing fine. They're doing really good, actually.
There was an evening. Go ahead, Jamie.
I was going to say we're kind of day ones. Do you guys remember when we went to? I don't know if it was Uncle Rudy's first restaurant. It was like Paco's or something.
Oh yeah, yep.
On over on Rainbow.
Mm-hmm.
You guys remember that? Andy, you probably don't.
No.
Yeah, it was like a smaller place. It was almost like a. It looked like maybe it was an old.
Yeah, it used to be Taco John's, actually.
I was gonna say it looked like it was maybe like an old fast food, like a Wendy's or something. Yeah, it was called like Paco, and I don't know where that name came from, but
Paco's Taqueria. Yeah, yep.
Probably because the ACO was already there on the sign. So Paco's just easy change.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice. You didn't have to pay a whole bunch in signage. Yeah. Just
How old were you, Jamie? Because I don't remember that.
man, I want to say high school sometime, maybe. So at least.
This would have been back at around 92, something like
Yeah, I was
that.
gonna say about 30 years ago. Yeah.
I don't know why I don't
Yeah.
remember it then.
Okay. Well, I know mom and dad are listening or will be watching this at some point, being like, yeah, they remember.
Yeah.
Mom will tell you all about it on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember
remember.
yeah, we're not even doing it. Where's our drop set? I do. Here it is.
You remember?
Anyway, I remember the Christmas parties at Rudy's.
Oh, yeah.
The family Christmas parties, and we'd always close up shop. And people, I remember, like, people would be coming in, and they're like, wanting to eat there. And we're like, it's Christmas party, family Christmas party. But I guess the family just got too big at one point, and
it's just it got really way too big. We were just outgrew the whole place, Now the Lenexa location, that would be an ideal place. It's big. It's really big.
Much bigger. I'm still That's it. We're putting it down.
Mark it down.
I still have like those sleigh bells that Santa Claus would hand out to all the kids. I've got 20 of them rolling around here. Every Christmas they come out and they're at the bottom of a tub. And I'm like, wow, yeah. So I remember those. That sleigh was awesome.
Yeah,
where he'd tear off down the street with
that was really cool.
Smoke and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways,
I tell you, real quick while I have you here, I gotta ask what happened to the burrito del barrio. That was my go-to for the longest time, and it's no longer on the menu.
We've had people come in and ask for that and everything, and I don't know. I'm not sure to this day. I don't know why they got rid of it. If people, people were still asking for it, then why did they get rid of it? I don't know.
That was my jam.
I'll have to revisit that with my sisters and find out exactly, what happened with that.
But I gotta say with Rudy, he turned me on to the tenderloin.
That's what I was about to say.
Restaurant to have a tenderloin.
Yeah. Every time I go to Rudy's, just about every time, I'll go and pound some chips and salsa. So that's my Mexican portion of the meal. But then I've got to and my dad is the one that turned me on to the tenderloin. So Pops turned it on to me, and I've now turned it on to you. But it's freaking amazing. I love the tenderloin.
Yeah, our cook, our chef Bernie, he just came up with a really good recipe for the batter, for the crispy batter, and it's really really good. Then with the mushrooms, with the onions, and tomato and everything. Oh yeah, and then you got your choice of whatever you want to put on there, and it's just and then they butter the bun and they toast it and everything, and it's really good.
Yeah. It's delicious.
I'm sold now.
Better.
I've heard you talk about it, Rudy, but I can't bring myself to order the tenderloin just because I'm someone who, when I go to a restaurant, I got my favorite and I get it every time. And I think at Rudy's, it's been 20 plus years that I have not, since I've gone in there and not gotten pork burrito plate, with the sides, and add a chicken taco, because the chicken taco with that shell,
with the fluffy shell.
The chicken tacos are bomb.
But it's like, and maybe if I went there, maybe if I went there, once a week or something, I might try other things. But when I only go every now, it's like I can't be here and not get that. But sold me on the tenderloin though.
Right, because when I used to go, mine was the Puros tacos. I think is that where you get 5 tacos?
Which one was it?
There's Puros.
So the Puros tacos and then the tacos Tenampa. Yeah. Yep.
Right. So depending on how fat I feel that day, am I going to go for 5 or am I going to go for 3?
Yeah, exactly.
But
who
now
it's 5.
No, that was my younger days. I would pound the 5 tacos, but now it's straight up tenderloin, and now it's almost when I'm there, I don't want to stray from the tenderloin now because that's my go-to.
I was eating the tenderloin one Friday afternoon out there for lunch, and a guy came in and he goes, I didn't know you guys served tenderloins. I said, yeah, we've had them for a while. And he goes, is it good? I said, yeah. He goes, I said, tell you what, if you don't like it, you don't have to pay for it. So he ordered it. Nice. He ordered it and he loved it. And to this day, this guy comes in almost at least 2 or 3 times a month, and he'll order. That's all he orders is a tenderloin.
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
tough. And then when
although
you
what did
have,
he?
you have a daughter like mine that only eats French fries, that's perfect. So I just order that, and yeah.
Yep, there
We're
you
not
go.
Mexicans. We're from out of town.
That's where Jamie's family. But
Yeah.
no, I
So you did
so
mention, I don't know if we're ready to move on from the restaurant stuff, but you did touch on your art when you said when you get away from your when you get away from the restaurant, you like to, or you're trying to get away from your art thing, or
Mhm.
I don't know if
no, I think the restaurant seemed to take away from your art thing, right? Or
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
so what? When did you start? When did you know you had talent there? When did you find out that you like, hey, I got a skill at this? When
Oh
did
my
that
God,
hit? Were you
that,
young?
that had to have been back in the 70s, probably early 70s. Yeah, I was I was just when I saw Marvel comics, you know, it was just amazing, just I thought, oh my God, this is so cool. And then it's just a catalyst of a lot of different things. It was like the perfect storm, it's that and movies, the original Planet of the Apes movies were a big, huge influence on me, really just huge. And I was this little kid who wanted to make all this stuff, and my parents thought I was crazy, thought I was nuts. They're like, "What? You can't make? You want to make a mask?" I said, "You're not going to make no mask." I was like,
We'll get back to that. We'll get back to that because some of your
like Texas
sculptures,
Chainsaw Massacre or something,
I think you might be
sorry?
crazy with some of these sculptures I've seen.
like
But
Leatherface.
But no, that's just that in a nutshell. Yeah, it was an early age, very early age that I was just like bowled over with with all those things and stuff.
because the first time I think I even noticed that you had that skill, I think I was just watching the news. I don't know if it was Fox 4 or something, and I saw you on doing like a live demonstration of your pumpkin carving.
Oh yeah,
Which
yeah.
Mom made a big thing out of it, and she recorded it, and like she'll find stuff on the news and she'll record it, and then when we go over there on Sunday, she's like, you got to watch this, and so she'll play it for us like 900 times or whatever. And I think that's what we saw your spot on I don't know, was it like, it was one of the news channels.
Yeah,
You're doing-
I've done, actually, I think I've done all of them. I think I've done all the news
Okay.
stations actually. It started off
so
with Fox, then went on to the other ones, and stuff. So yeah.
so did your pumpkin carving, was that your first, or had you already been creating before that? Or when did you,
the pumpkin
because
carving came,
that technique
yeah.
technique you use, I've never seen that before.
Yeah, and I haven't either, and I can't take credit for coming up with that. I didn't come up with that technique. A friend of mine by the name of Ray Villafane, he pretty much pioneered that whole thing. And I saw him in 2008. He had contacted me because he was doing sculpting, and he contacted me he asked me some questions about sculpting or something like that, and we started talking. Then I started seeing his pumpkins he was doing. I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy. So I just, one Halloween, I went out and got some pumpkins, and I just tried to do it myself. I learned how to do it myself. And I think the first pumpkin I did, I used a butter knife on my thumbnail to carve it, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm going to show a couple of them for those people on Spotify. I'm going to show a couple of his pumpkins that he's done that are just freaking amazing.
And so you said you originally started out with a butter knife and like your finger, but like so I'm assuming you used something a little more sophisticated on these that we're showing now.
Yeah, I was kind of being sarcastic about that.
Oh, I don't.
But it was, I know it was I have a very strange sense of humor. So no, it was after I saw his pumpkins, I asked him, I said, what do you use to carve those? And he said, he pretty much told me how he did it. And I just went out and found some tools that worked for me. Because sometimes the stuff he uses, and you really can't feel comfortable until you find the right tool, that fits in your hand just right, and then it's going to do with the job that you want to do. So it's just a trial and error type thing. That's just pretty much how I learned, is trial and error. Some of the pumpkins I messed up, I ended up putting my fist through the front of them, or I screwed them up, so.
Yeah. Is there something like you spray on those things to like keep them from like molding out and stuff like that? Or like, because I would hate for you like in my mind, I'm thinking you're spending all this time carving this thing, and then
Mhm.
it's just gonna get moldy and squishy like all the other pumpkins, or does it not get that way? Is there something you put on it to treat
Yeah,
it?
well, eventually, ultimately, it is gonna rot away. But there is to keep them. I mean, just through the Halloween season, I've kept mine for like 2 weeks, but I have to keep in in the refrigerator in a plastic bag and a tied up plastic,
Oh,
and it's sealed. So
yeah.
I have to. I'll spray a little bit of lemon and water mixture on them, and it keeps them a little bit fresher, and things. But my friend, that guy I was telling you about, Ray Villafane, he submerges his pumpkins in like a fish bowl. He has these special fish bowls. Well, they're not really bowls; they're more like aquariums, but they're like perfect squares. And he submerges them in vinegar and water, and he's kept one alive for about 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah. They
nice.
actually bleach out. They turn white. That's what happens to them. They eventually turn white. But he's really really good. Really, that's who I learned with, and that's the guy who he hired me and a bunch of other artists to go to Hong Kong to carve pumpkins in there in Hong Kong.
So,
That's
like, did
the whole
you
story.
had, I was gonna say, wow. So people in Hong Kong, they knew about him, and they like requested you guys come over and show. Are they you showing them how to do it, or?
Yeah, actually, the people in Hong Kong, the people of Hong Kong, they didn't know what Halloween was until we brought Halloween out there to them, and it cost them about 11. I think he said it was at $11 million. I think they
Wow.
built a whole. There's a place called Ocean Park. It's kind of like Disneyland here in the States, and it's a huge amusement park. And they actually built a facility for us, and it was really cool to carve pumpkins and stuff. And it was like people were coming through, watching us, and things like that. And it was really weird because I had people that were touching me on my shoulder. They thought that we were like robots or something like that. Because I can't believe they're telling us we can't believe that you can do things like that. They thought we were like robots, like carving these things out, and stuff. And I was
Right.
like, no. So, but it was really amazing. It was like the trip of a lifetime that I've had. It was just really amazing out there.
Wow.
That's
Really cool.
awesome, man.
Yeah.
So that stuff is just in your head, man. You get a
Yeah.
What kind of
it's a lot of it's a lot of research. You got to find the right pumpkins to carve. You got to find
right.
real heavy pumpkins. So that that the walls are nice and thick, so you can go really deep into them. And stuff.
Right.
And it's just a lot of preliminary stuff you got to do. But as far as the idea goes, you can I would find a picture of maybe an old man that's got really cool looking wrinkles, use it for reference, and things like that and
Sure.
stuff. But yeah,
I got cool looking wrinkles.
Yeah.
You can.
I would love to have a pumpkin carved of each of our faces. How crazy would that be? Like, because they would almost be like caricatures, like
Yeah.
basically pick out your worst features and kind of
well, that's
exploit 'em
disgusting.
that'd be hilarious.
So
But,
do you have people that request you? I don't know, like commercially, to produce stuff like that.
Yes,
Pumpkins
I used to. Yes, and during Halloween, during like September and October many years ago, I was booked quite a bit actually to come out and do demonstrations. I've been all over Overland Park doing that, and I did it for about 3 years. And after 3 years, I was just like, I'm just kind of tired. I did stints out at Powell Gardens in Missouri, and things, and that was really cool. I really enjoyed that because I had just a ton of people out there, just watching. They come out. They come out and they sit on bales of hay, and things like that, and then I went from that to going to I did a stint at a lawyer's office one time. They invited a lot of their clients out. And they had food and all kinds of things, all kinds of stuff. And before the show, they're giving me drinks, and I go, I can't drink no more. I'm like, I got to carve these pumpkins. But I think I know what I'm doing here.
Like maybe you get more creative when you're a little inebriated. Juices flowing.
Maybe not just inebriated, but like you partake in any of the. To help you with some ideas, any of the hippie lettuce.
Actually, I know a lot of people that do it, but I can't. I have to be sharp as a tack to do that. I
Okay.
can't. I know people that drink and then they drink while they're doing it, and
Yeah.
they'll smoke a little bit too as well. And I was like, how do you do? I don't know how you guys do that. I
Right.
can't do that.
I feel like drinking would take some of your skill away. As you drink, the more you drink, your skill would lessen probably.
Well, it really it inhibits your your perception of what you're doing. It's
Sure.
just
Right.
yeah,
Right.
it's a depressant basically, and
Sure.
so that's why I'm really into what I'm doing. I can't feel depressed or anything like that, or tired. Or mellowed out. I got to keep going with the flow. And stuff. So
Right.
I just stay sharp as a tack.
So
Right.
in addition to the pumpkins, if people want to follow you on Instagram, you say what's your Clayboy? Is it Clayboy or
Yes.
what's the whole handle?
For the Instagram, it's Clayboy Creature Shop. That's what I'm under.
That's what it is. Clayboy Creature Shop.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that because I noticed. Was it today? I'm going to put a picture up. You're kind of promoting this thing, and it kind of freaks me out a little bit.
Oh yeah.
That's
So
insane.
what did you use this for? Is it?
It was. It started out as a design for a video game character, and then the video game got the plug got pulled on it, and they didn't do it after all. And so all the artwork that I had, I told them I said that's fine. I'll keep all my artwork, and stuff. And
So-
they were going to pay me, they paid me some. They paid me what they call a kill fee. So they'll pay me like half of what they would have paid me if I did if they were going to use the work, if I completed it or whatever. That picture you saw was just the bust, just the head and shoulder type thing.
Right.
So they'll do a kill fee, and I got to keep my characters, which I'm glad of.
So you own them.
So
Yes.
you own that character.
Yes,
That's cool. So you're like a kind of like a warped Walt Disney. Like
yeah.
you create these characters. So I'm going to put a bunch of them up. You own all of these?
Yep. That's another one. Yep.
And these are sculptures that you've done.
Yes, those are digital sculptures, and I've actually printed those out. Yeah, and that's my Vecna from Stranger Things, from the movie Stranger Things, the show.
Real quick,
Wait,
what's the difference between a digital sculpture and a regular, like, I don't know,
like a regular traditional clay sculpture? Well, digital
Yeah.
sculpture, I use a program called ZBrush, and I actually do it on the computer. All this stuff here that you're showing is all digital. It's all digital work. And it's also painted in ZBrush with the thing called poly paint. And this is a printout. I have a 3D printer. That's what you see in the background.
3D printer.
Yeah. that's
Okay.
my 3D
Okay.
printer. And I print it out and things and then I paint them, and stuff.
This guy here looks famous. Like that's the
That's the Creature from the Black
Creature
Lagoon.
from the Black Lagoon.
okay. That's what it is. Creature from the. Now you mentioned this guy here was from Stranger Things.
Yes, from that show on Netflix.
I thought he looked familiar, but I was thinking more like along the lines of like Red Skull from Captain America.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
I've seen Stranger Things, and
Mhm.
so you came up with this, and they used your.
No, I actually I just sculpted that from because I love the
Okay.
character. That was really cool.
You like the show, gotcha.
Yeah, and I actually
Gotcha.
I did this piece for a guy in Ohio, and this piece was produced at a 1-to-1 scale, which means it's life size. It's big. It's like this. It'd be like
Ooh,
like
yeah.
just 1-to-1 scale size. So
Right.
I did that for him, and stuff. He's had to be he's commissioned me to do quite a bit of things for him, but ever since buying the restaurant, I have no time
I
at all
was
to
gonna
do it.
say, I gotta
time.
think that takes a while. Yeah.
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 Well,
So when we go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was just going to say the digital sculpting will literally take, like half the time that a traditional sculpture would take. I can do a sculpture probably in about maybe 5 days. That would, if even that would take like over a month to do. So it cuts the time in half and stuff. So.
All that stuff is awesome. But we talked at the restaurant last time I was there with Macy and I, and you were talking about how the sculpting and this artwork kind of had to take a back seat because there's so much time spent at the restaurant now.
Yeah.
But you had mentioned the Hallmark stuff. Like you've done some Hallmark ornaments here and there, and
exactly.
Hallmark being Kansas City based. But the thing that caught my attention is because I have some of them, not yours, unfortunately, but the Hallmark athletes, the Christmas ornaments. And so when did you get hooked up with Hallmark, and what was your first athlete that you did? And because I think I've got Joe Namath, I've got Mahomes, I think I've got Hank Aaron, and I might have one other one, but none of the ones that you did. How did you get hooked up with Hallmark, and who were some of the roster of athletes that you've sculpted for?
Well, I got into Hallmark when I moved back here from the East Coast. And I think one of the reasons why I wanted to get back with Hallmark is because I couldn't get a job with them prior to me moving away from Kansas City, actually. So when I came back, I went and applied for freelance, and they said, "Oh yeah, we'll give you a call. Yeah, we can just leave us your contact number. We'll give you a call." And I had my book, my portfolio of stuff my sculpting stuff that I'd done for when I worked for McFarlane Toys and for Marvel, Marvel Entertainment and things like that. And the studio art director was right there, and I just flipped my book open to a page, and it caught his eye, and he goes, let me take a look at that. So I showed it to him, and he was paging through it, and he goes, can you come back in a couple of days? And I was like, yeah, sure. So and it was quick, and I sat down in his office and he talked to me, and so he left, and he was talking to somebody else in the next cubicle over, and he goes, yeah, we're going to hire this guy. I thought, oh, that was easy. I mean,
yeah,
all those years trying to do it, back in the 80s and early 90s here, I couldn't get a job with Hallmark to save my life, so it was.
So your new one for this year is Stefan Diggs.
Yes.
So this is your actual sculpting of it, right?
Yeah. That's the digital. Yep, that's a digital version.
Okay, that's the digital version. And then I went to their website because I got to get this now that my cousin. This is the final product right there.
Yeah.
And the only created.
Yeah, the only thing I'm not, and I understand why they do it now. Hallmark they've got to keep everything really smooth. So all the details that I put in, I end up ultimately have to take them all out. Because I had stitching on all of everything. I had stitching on the shoes. I had stitching on the pants. I even had the little holes in the jerseys, and stuff, and and everything. And the helmets. The helmet took me probably 2 days to do it because I had all the holes in the right spot, on those new helmets, and stuff. And then the straps and everything, and so of course you can't mold all that. Everything's got to be flat against because you create undercuts, and things like that.
Right.
But to finish up the first story, I went to work for Hallmark, and it didn't last very long. I was there about a year. And then after I left there, that's when they started giving me all the athletes to do because I did a few of them while I was there. I did Brett Roethlisberger. I did Michael Vick. I did Charles Wood. I did what was his name? The Shermanator, the one they call the Shermanator. They played from Seattle.
Yeah,
Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman.
Yes.
Richard Sherman. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Very cool.
And then I did some Hall of Fame. I did Nolan Ryan. I did one of the ones that I really loved doing was Mean Joe Green. That was my favorite one to do.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So do they let you find a picture of the athlete and then you pick the pose or whatever, or how does that work?
No, because I would have done completely different poses. Unfortunately, with how Hallmark works, it's just their way. They have to do it. I understand.
Right.
They have to. There's a certain size. There's a box. They have to fit into a box. Box.
Sure.
So you can't have a player doing a really cool jumping, catching the ball, or whatever, or doing a really, really cool looking tucked in and kind of a really neat looking run type thing or dynamic pose, And for someone like me who was doing action figures prior to that, it was hard for me not to break out of that mold, and stuff, and to just keep things nice and compact, and things. And so
Yeah, I guess
That makes sense.
yeah, so they made all the poses up for me. They showed they would give me the pictures, and I would think, oh my god,
You're not doing it right.
Yeah.
But honestly, the bigger the box, probably the more money they have to spend for it.
Yeah. Yep.
More cardboard, all that stuff. So
yeah.
And I guess to be an ornament, it's got to like hang from a, some kind of deal to hang on a tree or whatever.
Yeah.
And you don't want it.
But you know what? Hallmark makes some big ass ornaments. Have you seen those Star Wars ones with the batteries in there? I mean, there's some big ones out there. I got a Christmas vacation one on my tree.
Yeah,
and it's pretty large too. But
is it the one where the car is going through like the when they crashed the Grand Canyon? Because that's the one I
No, the one I have is like basically the poster for Christmas Vacation with Chevy Chase being like electrocuted.
Oh, Christmas Vacation. I'm thinking of the original one because I have one, and if you push it, it plays like the whole scene, like the dialogue from it.
Yeah, that's the way I love going into the Hallmark stores and pushing all the buttons on all of them.
I got one that's the gopher from Caddyshack, and it actually like moves.
Moves.
It's like and it's like
they do some cool stuff there.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, they do some cool stuff there for sure. I got to get that Stefan, even though I can't stand Stefan Diggs. I think I got to get that. Maybe I'll have you autograph the box for me.
Yeah, I did that when I went to visit our cousin Marietta and James down in Arizona.
Right.
I think it was Charles Woodson that I did. It was from Green Bay. He was playing for Green Bay.
Yeah.
And and we were walking around the mall and James asked, he goes, "Hey, did you do this one over here?" And he showed it. I go, "Yeah, that's the one." I was telling him about it. So he went and bought it, and he goes, "Can you etch your name with a nail on his leg?" I'm like, "No, dude, I'll sign the box for you."
Sign the box in Sharpie. You had also mentioned, and you mentioned it here a second ago, and I completely forgot that you sculpted for McFarlane Toys. Now I've got boxes full of their athlete lines, like and I used to buy all of them, especially if they were Kansas City athletes.
Yeah.
That was before getting back with Hallmark.
Yes, that was back in '99 and into the 2000s, 2001. Yeah.
So McFarlane Toys would have been pretty. That was kind of their heyday.
That was their really their pinnacle, really. And then after that, the toy market really took a dive, after that, because it was just so saturated, But they were the original ones to come up with all these really just thinking out of the box type, way styles, and things like that. But that was cool.
I worked at Toys R Us, so the toy game I had them locked. I worked at Toys R Us around that time.
As the draft guy, he was.
They did put me in. They put me in the costume a couple times, but I was a warehouse worker at Toys R Us. But yeah, so all those McFarlane toys, I got the Shaq and the Ricky Williams and the Priest Holmes and I think I even got a Mike Sweeney. They have a Mike Sweeney. Like I said, anytime they produced a Kansas City athlete, I had Willie Rofe, Trent Green, all of them. So the McFarlane toys are pretty sweet. So I mean, McFarlane in general, I'm sure you did. You didn't just do the did you do like any of the Spawn stuff?
I did a lot of. I did. I actually created a lot of characters.
Oh wow.
That I didn't get credit for, and that really kind of. I mean, I knew because that's when you work for someone else like that, you never get credit for it,
Yeah.
But I worked on a line called Tortured Souls, and they were.
I remember those.
They were kind of a knockoff of Hellraiser, the Hellraiser characters,
Mm-hmm.
and so I still have all my original drawings. I've had people wanting to buy. I got a friend of mine who's an avid Hellraiser collector, and he wanted to buy my my sketches, my drawings that I did, my concept art for that line, and I can't part with them. I don't want to sell them, not just yet.
Yeah. Not yet, right?
So, but I did about 3 of those characters from the very first line, and I'll never forget when they did the teaser poster for it. It said from the minds of Clive Barker and Todd McFarlane. I'm like, really?
What about me?
Are you kidding me?
That's
Yeah,
BS.
God, yeah.
So I remember that toy line because I also worked at Sam Goody. It was a record store. Sam Goody, Suncoast. It was up at Independence Center. But we had all the McFarlane toys, and I remember the Tortured Soul line. And wow.
Now, when somebody wants to buy your artwork there, like you said for that line, what does that entail? Does that entail like they own just like the physical artwork, or do they own rights to like everything? That's what you can't part with.
No, it's just artwork that I came up with for that line. It's concept art. So
it's like drawings.
Yeah, it's drawings that we would have. I would put together like a set of drawings for different characters, and then we would have a meeting. Todd McFarlane we would have. It'd be like a video meeting with him, and stuff. Every now and then he would pop into the studio, but not very often. But we'd have a meeting and we'd show him, he would say yes to this one, no to that one, whatever. So from that, from the drawings, once they were all approved, then you go into the actual sculpting, and you got a team of people helping you out, because you got the people that were doing the figure, and then you got people who are doing all the weapons and the accessories and everything for that. It's big. It was a huge project.
So you've met Todd McFarlane.
Yeah, a couple of times he came through. I had him sign a few books of mine that I had.
That's awesome.
So yeah,
that's come a lot. Toys.
What's that?
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
No, I was gonna say on that day that he came, because my boss told me when he would come in. So I'd bring all my books of what I want him to sign. Then I would like put up all of my best drawings all over my cubicle, so he would like see them, stuff like that,
Right. Todd's coming, and you start.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
I was going to ask him to trade some drawings for that baseball he bought.
Oh yeah, which was it? Mark McGuire's?
Mark McGuire. Yep, 72. The 72nd.
Wow.
72.
I remember that was a big deal back
Bought it
then.
for $2 million at baseball.
Just say I want to just take a picture with it. Let me just see it.
Let me just hold it.
$2 million baseball. That's really cool.
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say that toys had come a long way from when we were kids, just playing with our GI Joes, and you talk about accessories and all. They had the little backpack that went on each GI Joe, and maybe like one gun, maybe. But
exactly.
Yeah, now they got different heads that you can change for facial expressions and hands and all kinds of stuff, man. It's crazy.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. Yep. Exactly. But yeah, they've
Awesome,
come a long way.
Yeah. Long way.
Yeah.
Guys,
It's good.
you got anything else about you got anything else you want to ask Rudy?
Oh.
Or we could just go in. Rudy, let me ask you this, and this is just kind of getting into this past week. How did you handle the Chiefs and the Royals playing at the same time last night? Did that?
Oh, it was. Well, I didn't have to handle anything. I didn't work last night, but I knew what it would be like. I knew because normally that's usually the kiss of death for us as far as business wise, because it's dead in there. No one comes in. I mean, it's just so slow. And
sure.
I think it's just because people would rather see it at a sports bar where they got much bigger TVs, and
right.
things like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And stuff. We're just a small restaurant, there, and we can't do the great big TVs. I have been thinking that lately though about in the main dining room putting two great big ones up in the dining room area, and just having some bigger TVs in there maybe or something.
I could see that.
But
okay. So, but how did you handle it yourself? Did you watch the games last night?
Yes, my son he had a split screen. He had the Royals, and Chiefs playing.
Okay.
I said, dude, I can't watch it like that. I got to watch one big thing, So we kept going back and forth.
It was tough. I had the split screen. I don't know if you have YouTube TV, but I was freaking out because the Royals game started early. And so I wanted to watch the action in the Royals game, but I wanted to hear the pregame of the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't have the split screen until the Chiefs game actually started.
Yeah.
So I'm freaking out. I'm dragging TVs into the living room, plugging in, what do you call them? The Fire TVs, the Fire Sticks in the back, just trying to get in. Then I can't find remotes to which TVs. I was going nuts.
Was it really that tough? I mean, have one on the TV and one on your phone, right? Am I crazy? Or
Well, I had people over. So Kim came over and Miranda came over with Rylan and Sonny. And so Miranda was there to watch it, but they want to watch both. Not everybody's going to have it on. So,
well, yeah, see, I had a
I was
different
freaking out.
experience because I had my kids were still up, and so I'm trying to watch one on the big TV, but then I have my phone with me for the other, and I basically trying to watch both of them. I saw basically nothing, and so it was like I'm
Right.
done. I'm going to record this Chiefs game. I'll watch it later or whatever, and just watch the Royals game. And yeah,
Why would you do phone for the second screen? What about a laptop or a tablet of some kind?
and because the girls were still up, and yeah, that was just not. I had to move. I had to get around. Yeah.
Well, I felt like after about I was in it. Both games were on for about 30 minutes. I realized I don't like this at all. Like this is terrible. I can't remember it ever happening in our lives where they're both playing at the same time.
I know that was just a crazy.
Yeah, because I felt like I didn't watch either of them. Like you said, Jamie. Like
exactly.
it just
that's why I didn't want to do it. That's why I didn't want. And I do favor football over baseball. I do like football quite a bit more than baseball.
And see, I favor baseball over football.
Okay.
But the commentary on the baseball is so boring that I can just watch the baseball game.
Yeah.
But I got to hear what's going on with the football game. But I don't know. It was stressful to say the least. Andrew, where'd you watch it at?
At home. I had the split screen YouTube thing going on with I had some friends over. But yeah, I was okay with it, except for when you have when you think about having two on the TV's not any bigger. Like it's one TV that's meant to have one picture.
They're much smaller. Yes.
Yeah. So it was fine for the action, but if you want to get any kind of detail, like how much time's left in this game in this quarter, what inning are we in, or you couldn't get. You'd have to, flip to one or the other. But it was fun. I enjoyed it. Like you said, I don't remember them ever playing important games like these at the same time. Like maybe the Royals played an afternoon game in September at the same time the Chiefs were playing at noon, but you can really pick one or the other. This was like, I want to see both of these games equally.
Well, from what I understand, they've never, I mean, I don't know if never, but at the same exact time, like there's been a time where like the Chiefs have played the Bears and then in the evening they played the Angels in the playoffs. Like, but they've never been on top of each other like that. And it was, and then I got Sonny in the house. I love you, Sonny, but she tore this place up, boy. Now I 100% understand what grandma means when she's like, boy, those kids tore up my back playroom because Sonny and Rylan destroyed Macy's room. I was sending Macy videos and she's like in all caps. She's like, they better fix it. Hilarious. But I wouldn't change
you fully transformed into a grandparent now.
Yes, 100%. I was totally giving grandma vibes for sure. Yeah. Like I was just like, oh my God, but like just calm down. I'm off all week, so I've got all week to recover from this. But but no, Sunny's a sweetheart. She got one of those stretchy silicone, I don't know, something or other that Macy got it from like the kids. They work at Dave and Buster's, and it's in one of the prize bins. But it's like a silicone, I don't know. But Sunny got it stuck in her hair like, I should have brought those pictures. I've got them on my phone. Like, I was thinking we're either going to have to cut her hair or cut this thing out of her hair. It was a disaster, but we let Miranda work on it for a little bit and she got it out. But it was so for more than one reason, it was hard to focus on the games. But yeah, it's a good time. Yeah. But
I will say I do love playoff baseball though. Generally speaking, football is a better product, even though I've always liked baseball better. But playoff baseball, I mean, it's not good for my health, but it's so much more intense. You're hanging on every pitch.
Well, like today, even with the Royals not playing, I'm like, I can watch some good playoff baseball and just not be stressed out about it. Like, because that Phillies Mets series was pretty good. The Dodgers Padres series is good.
They're all good.
But no stress about it though.
I did see that this was the first time ever that the 4 ALDS or the 4 DS series are all 1-1.
1-1. Yeah.
Are all tied 1-1. Well,
cool.
Before today. unfortunately.
Right.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, man. Pretty cool.
Yeah. I had a question for Rudy, but it was a long time ago now, so I felt weird going back to it. But when we were
Let's
looking
go
at
back.
It's
when we
okay.
were
You're
looking
amongst friends.
Thank you. Oh, please. When we were looking at those pumpkin carvings, just the detail on it is so great with all the wrinkles and the face lines and everything. Are you working off of like a model of a face or something here to like, is there an inspiration? Is there something you're modeling off of?
Well, I
These
used to,
faces, they
I
look
used to,
so specific.
yeah, I used to, I think it's just because I sculpted for such a long period of time, action figures and faces and things like that, that this came pretty natural to do that.
Like that one's Uncle Rudy. That one's Uncle Rudy, right? And this one's Tony D. This one's Tony D.
No, it's pumpkins, sculpting and then carving pumpkins. Those are two different, with sculpting is additive, is an additive art. Pumpkin carving is subtractive, so you got to take everything away. You're carving away from that, and you got to pretty much know, how far deep you're going to go, and if you cut something off, it's you can't. I mean, you can actually super glue. I mean, if you cut a hunk of a pumpkin off, you can super glue it back on. I did that before. You can actually super glue it. It's really crazy the things that you come up with, but no, yeah, it's subtractive art, and it's pretty much used all my sculpting training that I had, all the work that I did, and put it to good use with the carvings, and I will look at books with faces, and see just to get some accurate realism into the pumpkins, and things like that. I actually thought about doing some this year, but we're already we're almost halfway into October now,
Yeah.
and I don't see any light at the end of the tunnel,
Right.
to get anything
Right.
done.
You mentioned Marvel earlier. What kind of work did you do for Marvel? Because I'm a huge Marvel fan. So
I did a few actually worked for a company called Diamond Select Toys, and they do a lot of work for Marvel. They have a license. They bought the license to one of the Marvel sells different types of licenses to different companies. So Marvel will license out like 7-inch action figures to one company. Then they'll license out 9-inch figures to another company. Then they'll license out like a statue, like just a statue type collector.
like Hot Toys. Have you seen Hot Toys?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
Hot
those
Toys,
are amazing.
Yeah, those are real. Those are crazy. Those are crazy.
Yeah.
The ones I did were just your basic plastic or your PVC type action figure, actually.
Right.
And so, but yeah, that's I've done statues. I've done like Colossus from the X-Men, and
cool.
and that was a great big piece. I did Bullseye from Daredevil. He was a Daredevil villain, I believe. I did some Wolverine, did a couple different Wolverine variations. Did a thing from the Fantastic Four, and things like that. So
nice.
yeah, I've got tons of stuff packed away in boxes that I can't even take out or anything.
Dude, I could nerd out with you for a while. I've got so many of those toys and boxes, and like I get emails every week from like the Hot Toys because I've always wanted to purchase one, but I'm like, that'd be ridiculous. Why would I spend $100 on an action figure? But oh my God, they have some of the coolest stuff I've ever seen.
That's if you can find a hot toy for $100, that's dirt cheap.
Right.
Now,
that's the
now
smaller.
They're like $500 and $600 now, actually, for the
Ouch.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I can imagine one of my kids wanting to play with it. Like, can I?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's in the box.
You should see his Cabbage Patch collection. He's
There's no Beanie Babies, but
So you
Cool.
said you were on the East Coast for a while too. Is that when you were working for Marvel and McFarlane?
Yes, and McFarlane Toys. Yeah, McFarlane was in New Jersey, and Toy Biz, and which is Marvel. Marvel owns Toy Biz. They were in New York City, and I got to drive in there every Thursday. I was freelancing, but I got to drive in every Thursday into the office, into the Toy Biz. It was really cool.
oh, cool.
It was you walked in there, and they have it's a huge long hallway with like glass cubicles, and they have huge cutouts of like all the Marvel characters. It was a really cool place to go. Really neat.
Wow.
Did you head that way for the job, or what took you out that way? And then did you just
I
happen
was
to
working
find...
for a company called Trendmasters. Actually, Trendmasters was my first professional art job besides Hallmark, besides the freelance. I really didn't turn pro till I got hired on at Trendmasters, which was in St. Louis. It was in St. Louis, Missouri, and I moved there for that job and stuff. From there I was hired on as a concept artist there, again, just drawing concept of different toys, what could possibly be toy figures, play sets, things like that. And while I was there, I really started getting into sculpting. I really wanted to do sculpting. So I started working on sculpting, about a year and a half. And then I knew about McFarlane Toys, and I sent them some photographs of some of my work. And they called me within about 2 or 3 days, and they said, we'd like you to come out for an interview. And so yeah, sure. Yeah, you bet, So I drove, my dad went with me. We drove out to New Jersey. We drove from St. Louis out to New Jersey. Yeah.
Wow. That's a
18-hour
drive.
Yeah. 18-hour drive.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but I got hired on out there, and we spent about 2 years out there actually. And then we came back. It's just so different out there. It really is. It's very, very different. There's no Mexican restaurants out there. There wasn't when I was there. There really wasn't anything when I was.
So you lived in New Jersey, though?
Yeah, I lived in Jersey. Yep, I lived in Jersey, but I lived in the nice part, not in the. Everyone thinks New Jersey a nasty city, and this and that crime. But I lived actually in the mountains. I lived actually in the ski resort. Actually, it was really nice.
There's mountains.
Really nice. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Mountains in New Jersey. Didn't know that.
Yes.
What city or what town? What city? I guess.
Vernon. I lived in Vernon, New Jersey, and there's Vernon and there's McAfee. I lived in Vernon, but my mailbox or the post office was in McAfee, and and we were right on the border. I mean, there was upstate New York was real close, and Pennsylvania was real close too as well. Stuff. So.
The only thing I know about New Jersey is everything Kevin Smith taught me. So, like Leonardo and Red Bank, and that's the only part of New Jersey I know. So,
yeah,
but why do I have it in my head that were you into bodybuilding at one point?
Not really serious into it. I worked out a lot, in the 80s, and things like that and stuff, and didn't really get really serious into it or anything. I think I went out and partied too much. I barely remember the 80s, but that way. You can ask JR about that one.
JR better watch this episode. I remember as a kid, as you being one of the older cousins, I just remember thinking that you looked like Sylvester Stallone. I'm like, I've got a cousin that looks like Sylvester Stallone, and I was little, but I remember thinking that. And it might have been in your bodybuilding days, like I feel like you had.
I didn't think I was crazy.
Yeah,
maybe mom told us that or something, or somebody.
You remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. So.
Yeah.
Hey, well, and we probably should have done it from the beginning, but do you want to just update us on how's your family doing? What's everybody up to? I'm thinking more for my kids that watch. They don't know, since the family doesn't get together. The extended family doesn't get together as much as they used to. Just kind of knowing how we fit together and that type of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, everyone's doing great. My daughter Cameron will be getting married next year. She has a job with Essence of Australia. It's a bridal shop, and she does all her social media. Actually, she's been there for quite a while now. And she really enjoys it. My son Matthew he's going to Aquinas. And he was in track the first couple of years, and actually last year he was in shot put and discus throwing and things like that. This year he took a break from sports because he got a lot of he has all AP classes, and they're very tough. It's a lot of tough things, and stuff, and but he's doing really good, very very good, and things. So everyone's doing good. Melissa's doing fine. She's doing good and everything, and my sisters, everybody. I get to see him every day at work, and things, and
Right.
so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But no, it's going good, very good. It's couldn't be happier, So
Did anybody get Pops's skill for in the artistic world? Does any of your kids have that artistic bug? No.
I didn't want to push him. I wasn't going to push him into it or nothing like that,
When they were little, did you have that shit all over the house and they freak them out and stuff? Or?
Yeah, my daughter Cameron. Since like 2 and 3 years old, she's just used to seeing it, so she never got scared of anything, and stuff. And
right,
I'd be upstairs working, in my office, and I'd have like Hellraiser movie playing, and she'd come up. And I didn't know she was up there one day. I turned around, she's sitting on the floor watching it with her blanket.
Oh man,
that's hilarious!
I was like, oh my god,
that's
Mom was gonna kill me for that one.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. But no, it's like I said, everything's going really good. I had a very wonderful career, with art, and stuff, and now just jumping into this new thing with the restaurant, and everything. Still trying to learn a lot of things, big, huge learning curve, and everything. But
sure,
it's going good.
Yeah.
Going very good.
Best Mexican restaurant in the city. I mean, by far. I used to not be able to say that just because that's the only place I would eat. Like I don't go anywhere else. So like, how would I know? But I have here and there, like, let me try this place. No, it's nothing. It's the best in the city. By far.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
By
We
far.
try. We do our best to, make everybody happy, and stuff. So it's going good though. Going very good.
Yeah.
Whenever people come from out of town, they always want barbecue recommendations, and I'll give those. But I always say, hey, if you're tired of that and you want some Mexican, I always give them Rudy's. That's
if I'm on Twitter and like the CBS crew's coming in, where any ideas where to eat, Rudy's Tenampa. Always. I'm always out on Twitter.
I think Nick Swartzen just was here like a week ago and he did the same thing, like asking for recommendations, and I sent So,
yep, Rudy's
I always send people to Rudy's.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's awesome.
And,
that's great.
And it's one of those things too, like it was a source of pride, I think, for our family. It's like we're going to the restaurant. We don't even say Rudy's, we say the restaurant.
The restaurant, yep.
Restaurant.
Yeah. And so then as I was getting older and high school and entered the workforce, it would always surprise me. Well, maybe not surprise me, but it would give me a little pep when I would hear someone else talk about Rudy's. Like I'm like, hey, you know what? That's my family, and and I would be like, it was just always like nice when you would hear other people talking about it, because to me it always felt insular. But I'm like, oh wait, people in the all around the city love this place.
Well, and part of it too is like when I'd go with like coworkers, because I worked down in Midtown for a while, and then we'd roll in there and hey, yeah, they know who I am. That's my cousin, and that's my this and that, and then you'd have all the great aunts working next door, making tamales or whatever. Like everybody, like somebody was there that you knew every time you went.
Oh yeah.
And for me, the fact that my name is Rudy and that's my family's restaurant, Rudy's, and they're like, "Are you the Rudy?" And I'm like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe.
I could be.
What they don't know is there's 73 Rudies in our family.
Yeah.
So, it could be any of us. It could be any of us. I don't know. But,
if one goes down, they all go down. So.
Exactly. I'll never forget when Mary Helen named her dog Rudy, and I'm like, now you're just messing with us. Like this is a little much. But.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Do we want to get to our
Quit Acting Stupid Award?
Go ahead,
right?
Knock yourself out.
Well, I wish I had the video component with this, but this week for our Quit Acting Stupid, our what is it? Manuel Paredes weekly Quit Acting Stupid Award.
Yes,
it's going to go to Rashee Rice's mom for what did she steal, Andrew? Do you know? It was records, wasn't it?
The video I saw, you couldn't really tell. It was like a small package in front of a door.
I heard it was that new singer. I these kids listen to. I don't know. I'm getting old, but
These kids.
she sings that one song. She was, I don't know. She's a new singer. But anyways, I heard it was like some records or something, and that's what it ended up being. But the stupid part comes in. We just love what?
No, I just love that you could have just not said anything, and then you proceeded to make yourself sound old and
right. It's hold on. I could find her name. No,
I'm looking for the video real quick, but
basically, not only did she porch pirate this package in front of her neighbor's door, but she did it in her son's jersey with Mama Rice on the back. That blows my mind.
I completely missed this week. I mean, I assume you got it off Twitter or something.
Yeah. I get everything off Twitter. Yeah.
And you know what else too? There was a small child with her too, which even though the mom's the one that I think actually grabbed the package, it did really resonate as like when you send like the small child, like go look at that. Like no one's gonna question you. Go see what that is. Go see what that.
But I feel like in the video, didn't she kind of push the kid along to like, you go run ahead. I'm about to steal this.
Maybe that was it. Because they go and then they kind of circle back to grab it.
They come back. It was funny to me, but it's to Mama Rasheed Rice, quit acting stupid. quit acting stupid. Rudy, is there anything else going on at the restaurant or anything coming up that you want to promote? I love your guys' your Cinco de Mayo tent parties. Is there anything coming up that
we do have a good event coming up for Day of the Dead? That's coming up on November 1st and 2nd. So it'd be there or be square.
Nice.
Awesome.
No, we have my nieces, they put together a really good little, I shouldn't say show, but they decorate everything up really good. We'll have drink specials and food specials. We got, of course, we're going to have the costillas back again, the ribs, the pork chili with the riblets, and things like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Those are all fan favorites there.
Sometimes I come in and you guys have some live music going. Is that like on a schedule, or is that just kind of catch it when you catch it?
Yes, it's actually every other week actually. So the guys played last week, so they won't play this week, so they'll play next week actually. So
is that on Fridays and Saturdays, or
just on Friday nights?
Friday nights.
Yes.
What's the group's name? Do they have a name? The band?
It's Bob Rodriguez and Steve Reyes.
Okay.
Now Bob plays in another band actually called the Steel Road Band. That's who he plays with. That's the guys that come and play on Cinco de Mayo. They're at the restaurant. The Steel Road Band. Yeah, but they're great. They're awesome. Very good. So come on out for Cinco de Mayo and enjoy some good food and some good drinks and
I'm always down there for Cinco de Mayo. That tent party is.
But now, awesome. I saw something on Facebook about the Dia de los Muertos. That you guys are having.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah.
I guess did I say Cinco de Mayo? I meant to say Dia de los Muertos.
Yeah.
I'm jumping ahead there. They're gonna have a lot of good stuff there. So come on out and see how it's all decorated and everything. So doing a good job out there. So
awesome.
Well, hey, I appreciate you sitting down with us for a little while and kind of sharing what you've been up to and all that good stuff. We're really happy to have you and glad you could join us.
Oh well, thanks for having me on.
Yeah,
a great time here.
We got anything else, or do we want to do a clip of the week? What do you got, Andrew?
No, I was going to say clip of the week, and then I was also going to say if you wanted to give any recommendations. I know you went to the movies today.
I did go to the movies today because people were trashing this Joker 2 movie, and I waited because I heard it was so terrible. I waited until Tuesday because they're, I think, $6 movies at B&B. So I went this afternoon, and and I think too, because I saw the remake recently of Mean Girls, and I know it seems like I'm going off another way, but when I was in the movie theater, people were like so upset. They were like, I've never seen so many people walk out of a movie as when I was at Mean Girls, but it's because it was a musical and they didn't know it wasn't promoted as a musical.
Yeah.
Well, heads up, Joker 2 is somewhat of a musical. And I knew that going in. I knew that months ago when they were making it. I had heard talks about it. I don't think it was terrible. I really don't. I don't think it was a waste of time. I kind of enjoyed it. But I don't. I enjoy musicals. Like, musicals are fine with me. So the fact that they started singing at random times, that didn't bother me at all. I didn't bump into that at all. I enjoyed it. But the movie itself, the dude's crazy. Harley Quinn's crazy. Like, they're crazy people, and it's trying to get into their mind a little bit. And I didn't think it was terrible at all. I know people hated the ending. Hey, they had an idea and they went with it. I enjoyed it. So
well, I'm glad you touched on that.
You could probably wait till streaming, but whatever.
I'm glad you touched on that, because I am a fan of musicals, and I wish there were more movie musicals. But I hate that that's a trend now, that they don't tell you. They try to lead you on in the trailer to get you in without,
I feel like if they promote it as a musical, their sales they'll be dead in the water. I feel like,
because even later on this year, Wicked's supposed to be coming out, and obviously everybody knows that's a musical, but people don't know that it's 2 movies. They made it into part 1 and part 2. Like,
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Exactly. The second half of the movie doesn't come out for like another year or a couple months or something. Yeah, but they're not telling people that.
But see, like, but like, Wicked was a musical that they're making into a movie.
Yeah, no, I know
this is just a movie that, right. But,
yeah.
No, hey, I enjoyed it. Other than that, wait, I did watch something else recently. It was crap. I'm drawing a blank, and I don't want to stand here with dead air. So,
well, Rudy, what do you watch these days?
If I'm going to go to a movie, it's got to be something that I'm really, really into. You know, I'm a huge fan of the Alien franchise.
I have not seen any of them.
Oh man, it's
me either.
Yeah, it goes back to 1979 when the first one came out. That just like freaked everybody out. You know. Over the years, it's been kind of watered down. You know, Alien and Aliens that came out in 1986. Those are the 2. Those are really really good. Highly recommend those. But huge Predator fan. Love Predator movies.
Yes,
the first one
were great. Again,
did you like the second one? I saw the second one at the movie theater.
The second one was a little too animated for my liking.
He wasn't he in New York? I think
they were in Los Angeles, actually.
Los Angeles. He was in he was in a city
in Los Angeles. Yeah.
Get to the chopper.
Yeah.
Get to the chopper.
Yeah, but it was still with my favorite. Some of my favorite makeup special effects guys, and that was all done by Stan Winston Group, and it was incredible. Just effects. That's when practical effects were just like, I mean, you couldn't top those guys. You know, it was great. But no, it's got to be something that I really like. You know, something. You know.
So did you see the new Alien?
No, I have not been to see that one yet. I have not.
I heard good things about that. And I heard that you didn't have to see the first.
Yeah, it's a standalone movie. Yeah, it's a standalone movie. So yeah, it's not a continuation from anything really. But yeah, no, it's you know, of course, one of our favorite directors, Ridley Scott. You know, he did the first one. You know, the second one. You know, it's and things. But yeah, you know, just things like that. You know, science fiction. Marvel stuff, you know, I like watching more. I haven't really cared for the few more present day Marvel things. I like things back in the, you know, like Iron Man that came out in Avengers, you know, way back in 2010s. You know,
I tried to go back and watch all of them like in order. You find these Marvel timelines online, and I got to like I don't remember. I think I got to the first Thor movie, which I've seen them all. But what I didn't see, this timeline that I was using this time, it added like the TV shows in. So I watched Agent Carter for the first time. I loved that show. That was a pretty good show.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. Agent Carter was good. Yeah.
And it fits right into, you watch the movies and then you throw that in there. So yeah, it works out. But yeah, the newer stuff I'm starting to slow down on a little bit.
Yeah, I just didn't hold my attention at all anymore, you know. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a nerd, and I'm pretty proud of it.
Sure I am. I sure am. But, all
All
right.
Yeah, cool.
Anything else, guys? Oh, I do. I remembered that other thing I watched. It's a documentary on Netflix called it's the one with Will Ferrell. And he's got his
Harper. Is it Will and Harper?
Harper and Will.
Actual, okay.
I think it's Harper and Will.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically Harper Steele, transgender. I keep wanting to say she's transforming. She's
transitioning.
She's transitioning. That's the word. Not transforming. Like she's
she's Optimus Prime.
But yeah, she's transitioning, and they traveled across the country and went to like some real like redneck spots, like dirt tracks and dive bars, and she would go in by herself and see how, and then Will would come in and be like, "Oh, I'm Will Ferrell," and it was a good show. It really was. It was a good show. But I saw that. That was enjoyable. But
yeah, no, since Mizzou crapped the bed this past weekend, I've been getting into more Halloween movies. So I saw The Ring for the first time. Apparently, I'm the last person to have ever seen that movie.
Yes, you are.
I don't even like horror movies, and I've seen it.
It's all right. It's all right. Not bad. Pretty good. I was expecting a little more, and I just started Carrie, so I had never seen that.
I've never seen that either.
The original,
the original one. The original. There's been a couple remakes, and I didn't care for those at all.
No,
I've never seen that.
Yeah. I'm going with the original. I'm about 10, 15 minutes in, so yeah.
I just remembered. I also Salem's Lot.
Yeah, Salem's Lot's pretty good. Yep.
Is it okay? I saw that on the HBO.
HBO has a bunch of them.
I'm gonna have to. I'll hit that one then too.
Yeah.
But I just remembered. I made another trip to the movie theater. I saw Speak No Evil. It was pretty weird. It's about the couple meets another couple on a vacation, and then I don't even know how to explain it. But
is that when Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder?
No, that is. Isn't that like? That's Hear No Evil, Speak No Evil, right?
I think
yes.
So.
Yes.
I was kind of being silly, but yeah.
I know. That was a great comedy duo. No, Speak No Evil, basically this couple captures people and kills them, and it's suspenseful. Yeah, it's suspenseful. It was I didn't like it. My stomach started I don't like it. I looked at Kim, I'm like, can we see something funny? Like I don't want to see all that. Like let's find a funny movie. But I'm in for the funnies. I'm in for the funnies for sure. But all right. This clip of the week we've been kind of sitting on.
And I actually think it's
funny.
No, but I actually think it's a perfect week to use it because we didn't talk much about baseball because we've been talking about that lately. But just quick update: the Royals playing the Yankees, and this is a Boston clip, which I feel like is very anti-Yankees. Right. And it's a very like let's go F somebody up.
Let's go.
And that's where I think we are right now in the Yankees Royals series. Let's go.
Right. So I feel you there. I get you. This is a badass clip.
I was going to tell you that before we started. Like, I thought it was a good week to use this clip.
Let's go. Clip of the week. Here we go.
I need your help. I can't tell you what it is. You can never ask me about it later, and we're going to hurt some people.
Whose car are we going to take?
You gotta cut it off a little faster, but yeah.
Beautiful.
I love it.
No, and what movie is that from again? What movie is that from?
The
Town, isn't it? I believe it's The Town.
I haven't seen it. All right.
Really?
Oh, that's a great movie.
Very good movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is good. I've seen it. Yeah, it's good. Very good.
Town. Very good.
Okay.
So
anyways,
recommendations list.
Yes, The Town. I've got it on Blu-ray somewhere in that closet if you want to see it.
It was one of the first Blu-rays I ever bought, and I don't think I ever opened it actually. But
my first DVD. Let's do that. My first DVD was Lethal Weapon 4.
Because it came with the DVD player, didn't it?
No, this is the first one I purchased.
The
one that I think was it. Which one came with the DVD? I don't know. Anyways, I just remember that. Go ahead.
Batman and Robin.
Yes.
Batman and Robin came with it because we got DVD players at the same time. I think you were living on your own, and I was with mom and dad still. But they were deals. You bought, and then you would get 5. So that's why I thought yours was free, because when we bought it, we got 5. We got 5 free ones. They were never watched any of them. Stargate.
Stargate was good. I enjoy. I saw Stargate at the theater, but
no shade. I never wanted to own it, and I do now. Lethal Weapon 4, and I can't remember the other ones now. Shoot, but Batman and
Lethal
Robin.
Weapon 4 was the one with Chris Rock and Joe Pesci, right? Okay.
Yeah, and Jet Li.
Anyways,
sorry.
My video collection started and ended with that lady when I was working at Blockbuster, and she drove her car through the front of the store window, and we basically got to take all the damaged videos that we wanted because insurance was anyway. So
devotees may remember that story from like episode 20, but that's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Rudy, thanks for joining us. Jamie, you want to take us home because Bobby normally does it and he's not here?
Yeah, Bobby normally does this. How do I?
I know. I thought I started thinking about that a couple minutes ago.
I got to do it right.
Okay, so
it's all just
for my brothers, Rudy and Andy,
Bobby,
and cousin Rudy Garcia. Quit acting stupid.
Not to get into too much troubles, okay?